to my podcast, Keep Your Nose in My Business, the show where we shine a light on incredible businesses and inspirational people right here in Essex. Whether you're a business owner or dreaming of starting something new, or just curious about inspiring people in the community, there's something here for you. So thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and join me as we uncover the stories behind Essex's brightest businesses together. Okay, let's get started. Hello, so I'm here in Malden today. This is a really weird one for me actually, because I'm actually interviewing my own brother. My little brother. I'm interviewing my own little brother, which is quite exciting. So, I won't say much more because obviously I'll just get talking, especially when it's a family member. So, I'm going to hand you over to my little brother. So, what is your name?
Hello, it's good to be here. My name's Daniel Williams, your little brother.
Perfect. So Dan, obviously some people may know a bit about my background, but obviously let's see it from your perspective. Where was you born? You know, how did Daniel's life all start? Where would you come from? You know, all that sort of stuff.
So I was born in Stepney.
Yep.
Moved out of Stepney when I was 2 years old. Went to Dargenham.
Dargenham.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little Dagenham. So grew up most of my life there, and then moved out this way to Old Malden town.
So what was your background? How many siblings? Tell them all. Come on, let's tell them how the family was.
So there was 5 of us in total. So 3 brothers, 1 sister, and of course me. So big family.
Yes, very big.
Very big
Granddad's
family.
one of 22 children, so very big family.
A very big family.
So obviously I know a lot about your life.
Yeah.
But the viewers don't.
Right.
And it's a really interesting life actually, because it's not your normal day-to-day job, your business, which makes it really interesting. And for somebody who wants to get into this sort of line of work, you're going to tell them what you go through, what the highlights are, what the challenges are, you know, stuff like that. So we're going to go through a little bit of knowing about your business. So for a start, tell us first of all, what made you tick as a young kid that made you get into this line of work? So how did it all start?
I think I've always, if I'm honest, I've always kind of like been centre of attention.
Yeah, I agree.
If I'm brutally honest, I mean, from, school plays to being a comedian to, running around in my pants to wearing a dress, dressing up as Michael Jackson. I think I've ticked all the boxes, to be honest.
Yeah, I remember the dress.
You remember the dress?
It's stayed printed in my head. It won't go away, sadly.
If I'm honest, it has been... I've always sort of liked the attention. I always wanted to make a name for myself. And then, just sort of always wanted to... Obviously, I tried employment, and although that was great, I weren't very good at taking orders from people and stuff like that. So, decided
quickly, right? Cut the story down, because I know you like to do a story.
Yeah.
Quick little story about when you actually was a painter and decorator, because that's how it all really started when you were young and Dad passed away and stuff, and you end up working with a guy called Neil, who's a great guy.
Yeah.
And it was really strange actually, because you went from painting and decorating, because I guess that's what Dad done as well. You sort of followed in suit, to then becoming what you are now, which we'll explain again in a little while. So tell us one little story, the funny story about you being a painter and decorator, why it didn't go down too well.
So I always, I done well as a painter and decorator when I started out. I had a little business, little van called Start to Finish, and I had the customers, but there was quite a few funny stories. One of them that I painted the wrong ass. I got someone to work with me, and we got the address wrong, the number, right road but wrong number, and we painted the wrong ass.
And packed up very quickly and went home.
Packed up very quickly. The guy rung me to pay me, and he said, "Where are you?" I said, I said, "I'm on the drive of the ass." He said, "That's funny." He said, "So am I." And I looked down the road, and about 10 houses down, I could see the guy looking back at me, and I just turned around and I said, "Here, pack up, we better leave. That was the end of
Bit of only fools and horses moment.
that was the end of my painting and decorating career.
So obviously didn't go down too well.
No.
But someone was very happy because they got their house painted, hopefully, if they wanted their house painted, and somebody else didn't.
They got a lovely new painted house, yeah.
So obviously didn't go too well. Things that made you tick was being centre attract attention, yeah?
Yeah.
So look, thinking of that, let's tell us what it is you do. What's your business now? What is it you do?
So I'm a DJ by trade.
Yep.
So I'm your typical family party.
Yep.
I always say I specialise in family parties and weddings because I'm a variety DJ, which means I do all variety through the decades and all different genres.
Yep.
I actually started at the company name is called DJ Den Entertainments.
Yep.
I actually started out in Malden
Yep.
in a little pub. Started there. Wasn't very good. I was crap.
Again.
I was crap when I started out.
There's a trend going on here.
Yeah. I wasn't very good,
You didn't start
admittedly.
painting the decks or anything, did you?
I wasn't very good when I started out, to be fair. But I'd like to think I got better, over time. And then we moved on to doing like our own shows.
Yeah.
So what we do is we get a village hall, we get an act, a support act, and myself as DJ as a host with the most for the evening.
Yeah.
And we started out selling tickets to shows. Then COVID hit, and it sort of took a massive impact on our business, like it did everyone, massive impact.
Yeah.
So then we had to look at other avenues to help the business. So we looked at bringing in our own bar. So we got it licensed, doing our own bar, and then we looked into doing our own food. So we basically run a whole, almost like a theatre show, if you like, an entertainment. So we sell, people pay a ticket and they go in, they get their drinks and their food, and they're like party nights. They're great nights.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we do.
And you're also an agent for some acts and stuff.
Yeah, so I do a little bit of agency where I sort of put some acts out. It's not our main trade, but it's nice as a little extra. Some of the pubs and venues and that sort of come to us.
You've got to build a relationship, haven't you?
Yeah, you've got to build a relationship. They've got to trust that we work with a very small amount of entertainers. It's not like we're an agency where we're reliant on it.
Yeah.
So we won't, if we can't get them the person they want or the person we recommend,
Yeah.
we don't go looking for acts. We just put in people that we are loyal to and we know are reliable and will do the job we need them to do.
Yeah, but I guess if there's people out there that are budding entertainers that are looking for work, maybe it's worth the phone call or maybe get in touch.
Definitely.
Because it's always good to have different acts and like you say, it's hard now, like for everyone. So going about is hard. What's been your biggest challenge? Would it be COVID then, do you think, so far, with the entertainment you're doing?
I would say definitely COVID, yeah. And another challenge that I had starting out. I mean, I started out DJing at like 2014.
Yeah.
My biggest challenge was I knew the knowledge of music to a certain degree. Like, obviously, I'll get to that, but I started out with you and stuff. But I had good knowledge of music, but I didn't know how to DJ.
Yeah.
When I started out, and I'm not. When you think of a DJ, they're mixing. I'm a DJ that works from a laptop.
Yeah.
Over the years, I relied a lot on research. Looking up sort of. I mean, I didn't know a lot about Northern Soul, and I sort of had to research it. I didn't know. I wasn't your typical club DJ, but I managed to get enough of a little bit of everything to make my nights work.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
If someone comes to me and they're looking for a full-on club DJ to do 5 hours of club music, that's not me.
Yeah.
So I tend to stick to my niche.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And you're very good at it. And it's really weird, actually, because obviously being my little brother, you were Tigger to me, which is like little baby Tigger. Now it's, are you DJ Dan's sister? Or, do you know what I mean? So it's now DJ Dan. So you've obviously built a name up for yourself, which is amazing. And you, like you say, you're reliable, you're trustworthy, and you give a great night. And that's what you're meant to do. So you underestimate yourself because you are very good at what you do. So along the way, who's been an inspiration?
My inspiration was probably you, because I started out with you.
Yeah.
You know, going to gigs. We done some real good gigs, and we done some. You
Remember
know,
when that lady snogged your face off?
yeah, I remember that. I do remember that. Yeah, yeah. I think I was about 14 at the time.
She thought you was older and she came and snogged your face. I was like, that's my
me.
little brother.
She loved
He's my
me.
roadie.
I mean, I
What are
don't
you
blame her,
doing?
to be honest. You know, I was good looking back then. No, but yeah, I mean, we started off, you know, doing some great little clubs, and then some not so great little clubs.
Yeah.
Some of them, you know, you needed a stab-proof vest to go in, didn't you? Let's be honest.
Yeah, you
Sticky
did.
carpets, but and you know, basically, I used to be your roadie, didn't I? I
Yeah,
used to
yeah,
go there,
yeah.
help you set up, carry the equipment in and out.
Yeah.
And then with that, we started getting into,
Yeah.
you was working at the Circus Tavern at Purfleet, working with some of the celebrities. And I think I just liked that lifestyle.
So, obviously, the business that you're doing, where do you see it going?
When I first started out being a DJ, the first thing I did was got in touch with all the popular DJs in the area. I introduced myself. I told them I'm not here to step on toes,
Yeah.
and could we build a working relationship together? And if I proved myself, would they, you know, I'd offer them work, and would they offer me work? And I think that's very important in business,
100%.
to sort of make relationships and connections. And I've got to say, I get on with near enough every DJ in the area.
Yeah.
We pass each other work, and we have built up that relationship. But my point of saying that is I would never deter anyone from another DJ. But in saying that, you have got to back yourself and promote yourself. And I'm big on that with promotion. And I think the only thing that makes me different from other DJs is that I'm quite vocal as a DJ. I do talk a lot, as you can probably tell. But also I encourage people to the dance floor, where you find a lot of DJs, you know, don't really talk as much or encourage people to the dance floor
Yeah, yeah,
with their voice.
yeah, of course. So, with that in mind,
Yeah.
obviously, you become niche at what you do, I think.
Yeah.
And you are, you know, definitely a family. You know, you could book you for doing an 8-year-old's party equally that you could do a wedding. So,
Yeah.
possibly a funeral as well, because they have.
I've done funerals.
There you go.
I have done
They do have
funerals.
them. So, you know, tell us about how we can get in touch, because obviously there are people that are going to go, I need a DJ.
Yeah.
So how can we get in touch with you? What do we need to look on? How can we make contact with DJ Dan?
So we're across all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We have got a website, which is www.dj-dan.net. And another way is you can tap it in Google. DJ Dan Entertainments will
Yeah.
come up. Yeah.
And obviously I know that it isn't just a DJing for you. You've got obviously a family life as well. How do you juggle that?
Now, home life is quite easy to juggle during the week. You know, Monday to Thursday, if you like. But Friday, Saturday, and sometimes even Sundays, my priority is my business. You know, Dad always said to me that, you know, people say family before work, but Dad always said work before family. Because he said, if you don't work, you don't earn the bacon, you don't have a happy family. You know, but yeah, I've always said that on a Friday, Saturday, I'm always the first at a party, you know, where they're setting up 4 or 5 o'clock, and we're the last at the party. But it does impact your social life on weekends, yeah.
Do you have a favourite song?
I've got too many to name.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, but my favourite artists, if you like, would be, you know, Frankie Valli, Stevie Wonder, you know, everyone really, Ed Sheeran, you know, I've got a load of, you know, I'm a lover of all music, but I am a bit of a love ballad fan. I'm a bit of a old school romantic, you know.
Oh, bless you. What's been the best compliment you've ever had doing your job?
We've all had good gigs and gigs that, you know, back in the day more so, that hadn't gone quite to plan, and sometimes you can have all the foundations in place and you could never, you know, sometimes it could be the atmosphere, it could be the lighting, it could be lack of drinking, it could be lack of numbers at the party. There's so many factors to getting a party atmosphere started, and it has to happen naturally. And I think when it does happen, and you get a good comment, and you know the bride and groom who you've built up a relationship with over the time, you've had discussions with them, you've seen their stressed moments, you've seen their non-stressed moments, you've seen their excitement, And when they come up to you at the end of the night and they're so happy with what you've done and you've had feedback from that as well, that's a great feeling.
Yeah,
but on the flip side of that, I'm my biggest critic. So I would drive home if I haven't got people dancing as much as I'd like to. As I say, more so back in the day, that'd be a long journey home.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So because the viewers don't know you very well, but obviously they're learning a lot now, who would play your character in a film?
If I could pick someone to play me in a film who I feel would do it justice, James Corden.
James Corden.
Yeah.
Cool, that's pretty cool.
Or Jack Black.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So thinking of the film, what would be your title of a film then? Come on.
Centre of attention, or something like that. You know, so it's got to be in it. It's got to be something along those lines. There can't be nothing else, really.
Obviously, there's lots of budding kids out there, youngsters that want to get into entertainment or being an actor or being a singer or being a musician. There's loads of them. What would be the advice 3 bits of advice that you'd say to someone who's looking to get into this field of work?
Put your heart and soul into it would be the one. 2, self-promotion is everything. You know, you got to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
You got to back yourself. And 3, be as loyal and reliable as you possibly can.
Yeah.
I always say, you know, it takes 3 years to build up a successful business or more.
Yeah.
It takes a day to lose it. But I think another bit of advice would be, you've got to play to the audience as though there's 1,000 people out there every gig. You can't be disheartened. You just got to, you know, sometimes you have to believe in your own abilities. And with, as you know, self-employed and having your own business, there's going to be so many. It's word of mouth, but also as you go along, there's going to be so many knockbacks and challenges, and you've got to just keep believing yourself and still keep that quality of service, if you like.
Yeah, 100%.
You know?
So, if you could choose a moment that generally was one of, because we've had some funny moments being out on the road, right?
Yeah.
We have.
Yeah.
Some people we've met along the way. If you could remember some of the characters,
Yeah.
what's been one of the funniest moments of being a DJ?
I think one of my highlights was when, not as much my DJing, but when we used to go out gigging together, when I used to set up your equipment and that. And we done a pub where, I don't know where, I think we went Isle of Sheppey or somewhere like that. And a big fight broke out, and you was halfway through Let Me Entertain You.
That was in Enfield.
Oh, Enfield.
I won't say the name of the place.
No, don't say the name of the place. No.
And they were throwing chairs.
They were throwing, that's
and
right.
the man said, keep singing.
Keep singing.
So they're throwing chairs around, and he's going, keep singing, keep singing. Yeah, I get that.
And it was the longest version of Let Me Entertain You, whilst there was a brawl.
And then the music actually stopped. I'd finished my song and he went, keep singing. I played the same song again. So I didn't know what to do. Yeah, that was a funny moment.
That was funny.
That was a funny moment.
That was the most memorable moment for me, I think.
But it weren't that funny. It was actually really scary, Dan.
It was.
But it was funny when you look back now.
It was funny.
You know,
yeah,
really,
back,
really funny, yeah. So look, I've loved interviewing you because, you know, it's... You're my little brother and you've achieved so much and I'm dead proud of how you've come and how you've got on, and it's amazing. If you need to book a DJ, you know, I know Danny has contact with everyone else, but he's underestimating himself. He's brilliant. If you need a DJ, he's funny, he's very, very active as a DJ. He gets involved, he makes your night, and if he can see it's going a little bit slow, he gets them going and he does the best songs. So you need to check out DJ Dan. Like I said, how can we get hold of you again, Dan?
Yeah, across all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram. We've got a website. Just type in DJ Dan Entertainments on Facebook or Google it and it'll come up.
And if you're an entertainer out there
you.
and want to get in touch with Dan, or you've got any events you want to put on or put his way or whatever, I'm sure he's open to a bit of everything, at least a conversation. Thank you, Dan, for taking the time here in Malden, sunny Malden.
Sunny Malden.
And thank you for letting us dive inside a DJ life. So at the end of the day, you've smashed it and you've done such a great job and you've been going for years, and I'm sure you're going to continue to go for a lot more years. So if you need a DJ out there, check out DJ Dan. Thank you so much for your time, Dan.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, bye. Well, that's it for today's episode of Keep Your Nose in My Business. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you spending your time with me. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss what's coming up next. Until next time, take care. And remember, keep your nose in my business.